Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/Capes and Lunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Jeremy Adams, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Yeah, whatever. Ben Riley, Spider-Man's clone. He's the guy. He's got a sweatshirt. Yeah, that's how you know he's different, and he's a blonde hair.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to another month of some Ben Riley talk here on Ultimate Spider-Cast. You know what that means. The boys are back. Anyway, I am Phil. Joining me, as always, Mr. Signal of Doom himself. It is.
Hello. It's Dave.
It's Dave.
I'm here. I'm available.
And freaking me out on the bottom of the screen there, all nicely, freshly shaven. It is the High Priest of Khonshu himself.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, I was trying to do my Jack Nicholson eyebrows. They're pretty hard to do.
It was almost a bit more monkey-esque, actually, Ray, is what I was thinking from Monkey Magic. I was
actually, yeah, I'll take that. Yeah.
It's
for
a
sure.
Tribute to Monkey, one of the
I just
all-time
needed to go-
legends.
One of my favorite.
You got the staff.
One of my favorite heroes. I actually, when I was little, Dave, I made a staff. That's how much into Monkey Magic. US listeners may not know. It's based on Journey to the West, Chinese mythology, folklore. The Monkey King, unbeatable. One of the greatest superheroes there are, Dave.
He was awesome. Like the show is one of the all-time classics, and they dubbed it, didn't they?
Yeah.
They dubbed
English. Which was amazing. I mean, I watched the English dubbing, and for the life of me, it was only for 2 seasons, Phil. But the English actors who acted the voices, they fit the characters so well. I only recently found out, Dave, that they weren't their voices. That they were some Caucasian guys' voices putting on Asian accents.
Yeah. I was surprised when I found that out as a kid. But they were long seasons. There was a lot of episodes. You know?
Yeah, season 2. It was only 2 seasons, but they're like 30-odd episodes a season or something crazy.
Phil, honestly, if you ever want a good time, I think it's available as a Blu-ray. I actually think I own it. It's fantastic.
Monkey
It's
Magic.
funny.
We call it Monkey Magic. It's called Monkey actually, but because of the TV theme, the song is Monkey. They sing Monkey Magic. So I always thought it was Monkey Magic, but it's actually just called Monkey.
It's
It's
gold.
gold. It's gold, Phil.
It's gold.
I tell ya.
I look like a hobo. I've moved. I've had a very, very busy weekend. I'm unshaven. People out there worrying that I might be kind of on the ice or something, struggling coming down after a hard weekend. I assure you that's not the case.
Can't see your pupils, Dave. Are they dilated or what? Oh,
They're
I
red,
don't know.
man. They're red, dude. I'm staring into the abyss. We did 4 hours last night, Rich and me. It was supposed to be a light show. We got right to it. At one point, I called for someone to be hung for treason. There was a point of the show where I listen to Signal of Doom to find out exactly who I think should be hung for treason. And various shots were taken. It wasn't CB. He did get mentioned. He did get mentioned. Just sort of more of an aside, and I did call for obviously his removal, but no, not hanging. Not a hanging offence from.
No hanging. That's only good for Zeb Wells. Come on.
By the way, guys, did you see that apparently Marvel decided to finally farewell the real Nick Fury, and they've retired Nick Fury to go.
Senior.
Yes, Ray.
Yeah,
the real Nick Fury, not the fucking lame.
The David Hasselhoff Nick Fury.
It was out this week. Perhaps I'll read it soon because I don't know. I don't know if there was some issue with
Do
the
you-
delivery truck and an
do you
actor.
wanna hear
or
the
something.
spo-
I got
the
no I
spoil?
got no Marvel books this week, so I was
Okay.
quite happy.
Phil.
Do you want to hear? Do you want to hear
Oh.
the spoiler, Phil, of what actually happened to him?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's not that amazing. So
Mhm.
basically, he has like a one-on-one with his kid, and then he goes off to tour the multiverse. He's like, "Oh, I've done enough in this world. I'm tired of it. I want to go." And so he basically goes on a vacation, extended vacation. So he doesn't die, but he just tours the multiverse. And
Wasn't he-
I'm just like, fuck this. Like,
He was a last time I saw him was in Original Sin. He was the man on the wall, right?
yeah, and
The-
that sucked.
yeah.
yeah, that sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they clearly don't know what to do with him. You know, they're embarrassed by the fact that he's white and Samuel L.
What was-
Jackson's black.
Dave, what was this? What was this thing also as well? Phil, did you see it? Where Beast is now what? Was he the
Yeah,
most
I hate it.
powerful mutant in
He's the
hell
god
or
of the
something?
mutants. He's the god of the
Uh,
mutants.
god of the mutants. What's happened here, Phil?
I know the
had a lot of
Beast. The
sorry.
Beast has pretty much gone nuts and is like
Yeah.
working against the X-Men.
He's like
Is this
a
Dark
massive
Beast
villain.
or Beast?
No,
No,
it's Beast.
it's-
As
Oh.
far as you know.
We covered it on Signal actually, Ray.
What's
If you
going
tune
on?
into the latest show, they've made Beast into a massive villain. It's so
Oh,
ridiculous.
no.
They had Dark Beast. They've basically made him as bad as Dark Beast.
Krakoa. Oh boy.
it's
When
just
is that
like-
Krakoa thing going to end? I hope soon.
Hopefully tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
hopefully
it had
tomorrow,
its it had its day in the sun. It is a chapter in the string of X-Men history, but I don't know. I'm ready for something different.
When I saw the article that said Beast is now the god of the mutants, I actually think I screenshotted you what I sent, Ray.
You did, you did. I think
yeah.
out of pure shock, you
I
sent
was
it to
just
me.
like, this is
I look,
just
he
pure
looked all
shit.
spindly. What was happening to him? He freaking all
He's gone nuts. And
like a vine.
like, I'm sorry, but when I want to read X-Men and Beast, I think of Beast, how Beast has been for many decades. He was not the massive villain. The villain was Dark Beast from Age of
Yes,
Apocalypse.
that's right. That's right.
For some reason, they've gone, you know what, it'd be fantastic if we made normal Beast just massively evil. Of course, that's going to be a fantastic solution.
Isn't one of your mates a really big Beast fan as well, Dave?
Yeah.
You tell me.
Yeah.
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 What did he
look,
think?
J-Dog Davies, not a big comic reader. Probably
okay.
never read a comic in his life, but
Oh.
he knows Beast from the movies. Big fan.
Yes.
He wouldn't be approving of this story.
No.
I can tell you that much. His famous line was, "I want a Beast movie, no sidekicks."
That's it.
Just Beast.
Would he take a Beast movie about the Beast, the god of the mutants?
No, not at all. He really wanted Kelsey Grammer just doing Beast things,
Hanging upside down, reading a book.
all that kind of stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
He just liked all that stuff. What about you, Phil? Are you shocked and appalled by the state of Marvel, or are you a fan?
Yeah. Like I said, just the stuff Zeb Wells is doing on Amazing Spider-Man at the moment.
I'm so behind.
Well, and they spoiled it. It's not even coming out till this Wednesday, but they spoiled it like 2 weeks.
Oh, was this
week or
Kamala
two ago.
Khan?
Yeah, they're killing her in the
Oh,
next
yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man issue, and they spoiled it like 2 weeks.
Is
ahead
that?
of time.
Oh, is that the big reveal?
Yeah,
The death of-
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
They
saw that as
spoiled
well.
it because every website, even like Entertainment Weekly, like spoiled it in the headlines. It's like, oh yeah,
Can
Kamala
you-
Khan's dying in Amazing
So
Spider-Man.
nothing to do with Mary Jane at all.
Nah, she's not dying. but-
Supposedly, this is the biggest thing ever since Gwen Stacy. This is barely the biggest thing that happened last week.
And like everyone,
Can I just- yeah.
and the internet even knows. They said, yeah, let's kill her off now because it's going to happen. The Marvels movie's coming in November, so it's going to happen. They're going to bring her back by
She's
then.
gonna be
And
I
two,
mean, look,
she's a mutant in the MCU, so they'll bring her back as a mutant.
and also
Who gives a
3.
shit?
Let's not forget. I think earlier this year, Doctor Strange had died, and he's back. Let's not get all worked up.
Okay,
The fact
I'm
that
not
she's dying.
worked
She's
up.
going to be back. No. I
At
mean,
no
as in you in
point-
general.
No one
At
stays
no
dead.
point in her
Yeah.
career have I ever been worked up beyond anything but apathy. She let's face it, she was a diversity hire. She was celebrated and loved because she was the Muslim hero, and we're all supposed to bow down. No, I'm not. And and then she's been killed. I wish she'd stay dead, but she won't. And also, did anyone notice how upset Spider-Man was Phil, did you notice that
Oh,
everyone else was just
pure
just kind of standing
cover
there?
theatrics.
Spider-Man's like, no,
Well,
Carl's died.
Well, again, they always like to give him man pain, and it's basically like, oh no, someone else died. The whole Uncle Ben thing, the Gwen Stacy.
But I didn't even know they'd met. I was like, since when
Well,
can't Spider-Man?
Yeah,
best
no,
friends?
they've
Well,
teamed
that's
up
the
for
other
a
problem
while.
too. Is like, Zeb Wells has had her basically in and out of the
Working
story.
and-
Like, she hasn't
yeah.
been like a huge plot point in the story. So everyone's like, well, why are you doing this? Because she's barely been in the story.
Mm.
I guess Spider-Man must be selling perhaps the best amongst the Marvel titles, and so they're sticking around.
Oh,
that.
would be.
Well, it always is, but yeah.
It always is.
I mean, I'm sorry. I watched the show. She's okay. I've never understood the hype. Like, we're all supposed to be so worshipping that woman who created her. I'm like,
Well, again, too. I mean, I think they're going to bring her back as a mutant because she's a mutant in the MCU. Because that movie's coming in November, and I think they said Zeb Wells is like a writer on that movie too. So it's
What is happening?
fuck,
What
yeah,
is happening to the? Can I ask? Can I be the devil on the shoulder or whatever?
yes, you can.
What's happened to the Inhumans? Like, so they're erasing Kamala from. She should
They're
be
just-
just
They've
proud that
continued
she's
to
an
suck.
Inhuman.
They've just continued to suck like
since
as
that
they have.
TV show, man. They've
That
lost all
Terrigen,
their
that Terrigen mist, that was cool. I enjoyed it. The cocoons, that was a great idea. What happened?
Well, Ray, if you recall, that was they really tried to popularize that when their relations with Fox were at nadir, and ever since Fox got acquired,
They don't need them anymore.
basically don't need them, and it didn't work as well. Like the comic book buying audience wasn't excited by that.
Did anyone look? It's pretty easy to say now, but did anyone see that coming? I did.
Yes.
Like with Inhumans, like that they were pumping up the TV. I watched all the San Diego Comic Con, like the Hall 8 stuff and the build up to it. But when they announced that it was going to be premiered on IMAX or whatever, I just thought, oh, something is slightly wrong here. I don't think this is going to be the huge blockbuster they think it is.
I totally saw it coming. I've always said the Inhumans suck. And they're at best for a couple of small appearances.
Well,
no one cares.
They should have made it like Game of Thrones. Anyway, sorry.
Can we just admit the live action, the Inhumans and Eternals bombed?
Yeah, we can.
The Turtles, did they?
Eternals? I mean,
Oh, Eternals. Oh, sorry. I thought you said the
Eternals.
Turtles.
No.
They completely bombed. It's like they never.
I
existed.
enjoyed the Eternals, but yeah, I mean, it's not going to do much, is it?
Yeah, but Ray, in all fairness, mate, you do tend to like go for lost causes, and Eternals was that, And,
No, look, I'll freely admit Inhumans was pretty bad, but Eternals I thought was okay. Anyway.
Although
But
Ray,
again, these sorry, Phil.
I was gonna say Ray is a kingmaker because Lilith will even say a lot of times she'll be like, Ray pretty much willed a Moon Knight show into
he
existence.
did. All those virgins he sacrificed.
Yes.
Like.
I mean, but look, you all three of us know, like being like long-time Marvel fans, that the properties that are Inhumans and Eternals, although they might have their niche fan base, it was never going to succeed.
No,
like
it's tiny.
Mainstream. It's just too out there, and they say, "Oh, look at the Guardians of the Galaxy." They came out of nowhere. Yeah, but that was I think a unique thing, especially with James Gunn. So
It was also a long shot and it worked, and I think a lot of credit has to go to James Gunn on that one,
Yeah, but the Guardians characters themselves, I think, were colourful enough and diverse enough to work. Whereas the Eternals, they're all like, I mean, what did they make them in the MCU? They're all robots, aren't they? Like, you can't get any more boring than that.
Yeah, it's
Are they? I've never watched it. Are they actually?
Yeah, they were all like
They're,
clones or something.
some kind of constructs or something
Constructs,
made by the Celestials or something. Yeah,
the moment they said that, Phil, is that I was less connected to them even more. Like, although they said that towards the end of the movie, it's like, oh really? Well then, I don't really care for them.
I'll say
that
this
much
right
now.
If there'd been a topless scene with Angelina Jolie, I would have watched it. But I don't believe there was, and hence I haven't seen it. Very simple for me. Very, very simple for me.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's the thing is with the Eternals and the Inhumans. I don't think they made the characters relatable, or you have to have some way for the audience to identify with the characters, and they just
yeah,
did not.
they're just really
have
out
you guys
there.
seen Guardians 3? Have you?
I haven't yet. I haven't yet.
I did see it. Yeah,
What'd you think?
I heard
Phil?
it's really good.
it's good. Oh yeah, we got the High Evolutionary. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
seen
if
it,
you-
Dave?
Looking forward to it. No, I haven't.
Yeah.
But Rich gave it a big review, and so did a couple of people, listeners.
Did Rich like it?
I was. Yeah, he really enjoyed it.
Because he likes the Guardians franchise, right? Well, at least the first one, right?
He fucking loves it. Like he
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
loves.
of
He
course.
guzzles at the fucking
Guzzles it.
Kool-Aid. Everything Chris Pratt does. I mean, seriously, like it's pathetic. I've even said that. Like, calm down with the Chris Pratt. Calm down with the Chris Pratt fandom. You know.
There was 1 week here where Guardians was the #1 movie and Super Mario Brothers was #2. So they're like Chris Pratt had the #1 and #2 movie the one
Yeah,
week.
that came up
Nice.
on the show, and I was supposed to be so excited. I wasn't. But no. Look, in all fairness, I am looking forward to seeing it.
If
Me
you
too.
like
I
the,
do
if you
enjoy
like
it.
the first 2,
Yeah.
you'll like this
No,
one.
no,
Yeah.
I like the
really
first
don't.
one. I didn't like the second one, but
Okay.
I'll enjoy
I
that.
liked the second one less than the first one, but I must admit, I actually am looking quite forward to seeing Guardians 3. Like,
Yeah, me
and
too.
and the High Evolutionary for me is a plus. And
Although
Rich
I
went
am,
into a lot of the story, you know.
I am a little bit annoyed, and I know that Marvel MCU they do this all the time. Nothing's absolutely accurate, but I've heard the portrayal of Adam Warlock. He's a little bit on the comedic side, which
He's
like,
too young.
really?
He came out too early.
Mm.
Apparently, Rich was saying. So he's kind of like
okay.
he's kind of
Okay.
not fully formed or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is. He kind of playing was like, "Oh, I'm the dumb guy" and stuff.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Right. Okay.
And there was something else. Apparently, I mean, I've never read any Adam Warlock. I don't care about this stuff. But apparently, he switches between good and evil when he dies. So
Well, he's got an evil side, yeah, for sure. The Magus.
Yeah, when he dies, if he was good, he comes back as evil.
I just don't like Adam Warlock in the comics because it's like a lot of times, especially when like Starlin wrote him, it's like, oh, he's the perfect
He's
guy.
the best.
You know,
Yeah.
I've never read him. And I
the
just
best
think he
ever.
looks so lame that it's
Yeah,
just
save your
unbelievable.
time. I hate Adam
Yeah.
Warlock.
He's very ambiguous. Yeah.
I was just mad because in the movie they never once put the High Evolutionary in that purple helmet.
Yeah,
Oh
that's a
no!
disappointment to
Really?
me.
Again, that's a
No.
Hollywood thing because they want the actors' faces and stuff, and there
But I
is
thought-
a plot
yeah.
point with his face. So.
Okay. I thought they would have done something like Kang, like you know how they made that like a light
Oh yeah,
visor. You know.
yeah. Nope, not even that.
I made the comment on the show yesterday that I don't think when reading comics I had ever seen Kang out of the helmet. I thought that was his face, and this fucking guy playing Kang now, he's fucking barely ever in the helmet. It's put the helmet back on.
the version of Kang.
Given what
Kang
this
the
guy's
Exile.
accused of,
Yeah.
given what
Yeah,
this guy's accused of, maybe the helmet needs to come straight back on. You know.
Yeah.
What do
Again,
you say, Phil, of the allegations, the Jonathan Majors allegations? Any comments?
I mean, at first I was
Guilty
like, I was like innocent until proven guilty, but it seems like Disney's pulling away from him. So I'm just like, oh, maybe
Yeah.
there's something there, and just
It's over. It's
Oh,
over.
he's
To
gone.
go
I
home,
mean-
too bad. It's over.
That's okay. I mean, and for us consumers, look, I don't really care. It's fine. If he gets replaced, it'll be fine.
I mean, they have the perfect out. He has all those variants and stuff. He can bring
Yeah,
someone else
exactly.
in.
Exactly.
But I have
exactly.
a question. I have a question. I agree. And I have a question. At the end of Ant-Man 3, when all the Kangs were in that arena, why were they
Council.
all crazy? Like, why
Oh,
were
they're
they so
just
nuts?
they're just kind of worked up, aren't they? They're just like a fever pitch. I don't know.
Is that normal? Were they mentally imbalanced or something? Unbalanced?
I don't think
were they?
so.
I was confused.
No.
Well, Rich made a comment. He said they were leaping around like baboons. And I said, that's a
Yeah.
very good comment, Rich. That's what they were doing, actually.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they would. I mean, like they could have been like portrayed like that, but I think that was
But
more like
Ray,
a.
If
I think it was
council of
just.
Ray-
I think it was just more like, we're gonna go out, we're gonna conquer. Yeah.
I think it was an homage to the because there's a comic book panel kind of exactly like that. So I think they were
Is
just
there?
recreating.
like
Yeah,
an old Avengers. Yeah.
they were just recreating that
Oh.
panel. So get all
I
worked
was
up
confused. I was confused. I thought some of them might have been a bit simple. And sort
there's
of
a
like
there's a whole
slaves.
multiverse, and I mean they could be. They all range from dumb to genius.
Because you
to-
had the three main ones, the blue one, and you
Yep.
had the Egyptian one, and you had another
Ramat-
one. And,
Ramatut and
Yeah.
yeah,
and
and they were like
Immortus
normal.
and- yeah.
They were like
Yep.
normal. And I mean, the guy, we're all talking about what a great actor he was. I'm sorry, but like the acting of like when he tries to do one sneaky and like one slightly different, like it's like this isn't great acting, guys. And you know, it's so obvious. But then it went to the crazy guys at the end, and I was loving it. I was like, this is
Yeah.
insane. But yeah, I mean,
I
unfortunately, the
think it was
actor's in hot water.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. I think it was just
Could
like
they-
a like. Sorry.
edit? Could they edit? I said this to Rich. Could Marvel edit it so that everything that guy did in every frame was
gosh, that would-
edited by a different actor and
That
voice
would
dubbed
be.
over?
They could. I reckon they could, but it would just take a
Yeah.
long time.
But think about it.
Yeah.
Like he's only been in Loki and in Ant-Man 3, so it's kind of
Yeah.
like you could do it. You know,
I think
actually
as
it's
Phil
possible.
as Phil says as well, like they're variants. Like you've seen that with Loki, so you could easily just explain. The cheaper option would be,
Yeah.
okay, that was a whole band of them, but look, this is the real Kang, and it's someone
Yeah.
else.
But my idea just feels so much more wild and ambitious. You know.
It is very ambitious. It would, if it pulled off, it would be really good. Like
I'd
so
love it.
they're
Let's do it.
literally wiping away Jonathan
Yes.
Majors from the.
Replacing him with me, and I'm
Totally. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm a Kang.
Just
you
get
know,
three of
blah, blah,
us. Just get
Yeah,
the three of
just
us in there in that Coliseum. I'd love it.
and do it.
I want to
like,
wear
Now,
a.
wouldn't that be confusing though? Because people would be like, "Is that the new Kang or is that the ghost of Gardner Fox?"
exactly. Yeah. Oh dear boy. Let me tell you a story.
Oh, hey,
He
Noel,
gets his
Noel's
butt.
away.
Noel's away.
Steve Zissou. I don't know. Could be. Who is?
I thought
who
you
was
were wearing a
that?
headband for a second there, Ray, but it's actually like a beanie, isn't it?
It's a beanie, Marvel beanie.
Yeah. I thought you had a headband on, which I was kind
I
of.
will wear a headband, Dave.
Oh, he's-
Tennis. I will wear a headband. I've got one.
Good,
I've got a couple.
Good.
I
That's good.
thought he was like, trying to go full Gwen Stacy for a second there, the headband on and everything.
Throw him off a bridge. Throw him
Oh,
off a
yeah,
bridge.
yeah,
Snap
yeah.
his neck.
You just want that, wouldn't you? Like, yeah.
Just
Let's
fucking
Anderson
throw
go-
him out there.
Okay.
I'd get the rope around your
Getcha,
neck,
getcha,
Ray,
Noel.
and just throw you out. Like,
Yeah, oh yeah, of course. You'd no compunction to do
Crack.
it otherwise. I'm
Crack.
sure. Hey, then I could be a drummer for a band. That'd be cool. I've always wanted to be a drummer. That'd be great.
I can see you working the drums. Yeah. So what are we here to discuss? Remind me. I forgot.
Well,
Fine.
well,
22 minutes in.
We're gonna talk that Spider-Man team up number 5 and Spider-Man Unlimited number 14. So again, we could do either one in either order.
Can we just? Yeah, I mean, Phil, I just want to call out, and Dave will probably back me up on this. In the trade paperback, the Spider-Man Unlimited is first, and I
Okay.
think
I mean,
chronologically, I think that works because you see. Well, actually, no, it doesn't. But it doesn't matter anyway. Just
It is first. I agree with you, Ray.
Let's do that first then.
And can I just say the amount of like guest stars in this issue,
Oh.
people that drop in. I mean, I'm sorry, my Spider-Man knowledge of this era is not A grade, and I was like, who are all these people? Like, just were they invented like in the last 5 seconds? Because they are just dropping in like nothing else.
no. Some of them are legacy. Well, like original, like what I
Some.
mentioned before,
Some,
like Chance and
yeah.
Rocket Racer and Prowler.
Joystick I've seen before.
Night
yeah,
Watch
because like
as
she
well.
she's been around in the Ben Riley era here.
I
Yeah,
know you remember Joystick, Dave.
I do like Joystick.
he can never forget joystick.
I do. I even like a name because come
I
on,
know you do.
It's suggestive.
But also Night Watch, we know the biggest. Actually, these two issues, Phil, that you have chosen, funnily enough, nice little rib ticklers for Image followers, any Image fans. We get a Spore knockoff in this issue, and we get the, I'm sure it's the Savage Dragon in the other issue. No
Oh
spoilers.
yeah.
Can I just say,
How can they
Betty
do that?
Brant-
Anyway.
Betty Brant has really gone up in my estimation in this episode. Like
With that Joe Bennett art, yes.
she's
Yeah,
looking
Joe
good.
Bennett
She
art,
comes
yeah.
over, like, but just check out the body. Like, she's got boobs, and then she's got a fantastic ass, and then it's just she's suggestive as well. It's just like, I'm
Yeah,
just in
she's
love
a
with
bit-
Betty Brant.
Yeah. She's
but-
just
but
quite
Spidey's been
flirty,
there.
isn't she?
But Spidey's been there. Didn't they have a relationship briefly at some point?
Yeah,
Sure they do.
like early on, like during the Steve Ditko, years.
I'm
yeah,
going to say to you right now, Phil. trying to keep it PG, but was there sex?
I mean, again, it was 1963, so they never called it out. So
Okay, but Ben Riley definitely gets some at this issue.
he's trying. I mean, he's trying.
Oh, he gets a kiss. Yeah, we know that.
Well, Ray, my imagination's gone wild.
Oh, gone wild. Yeah,
It
off you
started
go.
with a kiss. It started with a kiss. You know.
Yeah, yes.
I mean, Lilith and I, we have a new theory. We want to bring in the reality where, like, all the crap Peter Parker's been through over the years, it's Betty behind it. You know, she's been the mastermind. She's been leading him around by the and just
really?
she's the big. Of course, it's never going to happen. But Lilith and I, that's what we want to happen. Be like,
I thought you were going to say something else. I thought you were going to say like. My brain's obviously wired differently because I thought you were saying we were going to have a reality where everyone's just fucking everyone, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's cool. And that's actually what I thought you were going to say, and I was about to jump on board that bandwagon, but you've got Betty Brant as the mastermind, which is even more unlikely, to me.
But I'm just saying, our theory is like she's behind everything. She was behind the Hobgoblin. She was behind the Clone Saga. She was behind everything, and no, that's not going to happen.
Well, if she dresses like this with a body like that, she can be behind everything, as far as I'm concerned. Like Betty Brant, I feel like I've got my whole life and never noticed her. And this episode, this issue, I've woken up.
Well, it's a Joe Bennett art. I think that's
I've just
what
woken
gets you.
up. I'm just alive.
Yeah.
You need something. You need something because she was with Flash Thompson for off and on for a while. So you need something if you're getting Flash Thompson.
Did they have a kid?
It's with Ned as well, isn't she?
Oh yeah, right now she has a kid with Ned. Like currently, yeah.
Okay. I thought Bishop had shown up actually with that black dog.
No, that's a black bull. He's been Dave, you would have seen him. He was from the game. I mean, this whole thing is about the game, right?
Yeah, the great game. Yeah, this is wrapping up that whole thing. Yeah,
which we encountered before, didn't we?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you remember the Return of Cain storyline and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're tying up that whole thing because since the Clone Saga is about to be coming to an end here.
Hey, can we just jump to the first like big action scene? They go to this place. Oh god, skin grafts, Project Shark Skin,
and that kid with the crazy arms,
the nano, the son of of Ashley. But then the violence in this, like Polestar, nice fight with Nightwatch, and as I mentioned, the Spawned character, then Black Bull, and he kills like Nightwatch, and then he callously kills Polestar.
Because no one cares about these characters, Ray, so they're allowed to die.
But I was just thinking, like, this has got to be the sign of the times, Phil, wasn't it? Because it's quite different now. Like, we're so much. I think back in the 90s, it was so desensitized. Like,
we're so pussified now, Ray. We're so
right.
Yeah. Well, again, too, it's like Nightwatch they created in the early 90s. I think they were trying to make him a thing. Like,
but he's not. He can't be dead here. Was he? Because he had a mini series. Didn't he?
A mini series, yeah, like before this, but
okay, well that's it. Maybe they just killed him. Okay,
I liked
that was the end of that.
You know why I enjoyed it? Because you had your classic Spider-Man stuff going on, like the flirting in the diner, but then you had full-on like 90s crazy guys just.
I love this action.
Maiming.
Yeah. This is the
nuts.
And Ray, how can we forget Mr. 90s himself, Cardiac?
Yeah, I know. I was so happy to see Cardiac back in. It brought back all the Eric Larson kind of days. And he looks so cool. I mean, Joe Bennett does a really good job.
He does.
Right down to the pouches and the codpiece. It's really good. And he's got, I can't remember who wrote this. But he's got the voice to Cardiac.
It's not someone I actually knew who wrote it. It wasn't a name that I knew at all.
And why did they dedicate it to Tom DeFalco? Was he going through an illness or something? Or
I don't know.
He's obviously not dead, Dave. I mean, you know that.
Maybe it was around the time that he stepped down from being editor-in-chief. I'm just
guessing.
Guessing,
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. No.
But Cardiac, how about that? He's got his own glider. He's got like
But he was kind of like an anti-hero. He wasn't a bad guy.
He wasn't. He was he was an anti-hero.
Yeah.
They must have forgotten that he's black because there's a little bit here where you see his eye and he's coloured white there.
Yeah. He could have teamed up with Black Bull if only we'd known. I thought it was Bishop for a second. I thought Bishop's turned up. Good.
Yeah, no.
And I do love the scene at the Daily Bugle when Peter's standing there and Ben comes swinging through the window, and
Oh, that was good.
And they always played with the thing where it's like, oh, maybe Joe Robertson suspects Peter's Spider-Man. He's just standing there like,
He's like gobsmacked. Yeah.
And Ben's just like, what's the matter, Robbie? Jealous to see me standing here with my buddy Peter?
Yeah, no, it's pretty funny. I had a question. Would Peter Parker and Ben Reilly have the same voice?
Yeah, they would. I mean, they're clones,
I
right?
mean-
I mean, you can put on a voice though. That maybe one of them.
Yeah,
Sort of that.
and Ben's
Yeah.
wearing a mask too, but yeah.
Yeah, I just thought that like I know that Ben has coloured his hair, but I was just like, if they have the same voice, it'd be kind of interesting if they did it eventually in one of the Spider-Man movies. I think eventually you could do this storyline in the Spider-Man kind of films, and do it well. Obviously, a lot shorter than the comics did it, but like it could be interesting.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, you could always CG, Tom Holland's face on someone else, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, they did. I mean, let's face it, they did the multiple versions of Spider-Man. So
Yeah,
it tells
that's
me
right.
that
They're all different.
They're happy
Yeah,
to do
exactly.
that kind of shit, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, speaking of next episode, will be our Across the Spider-Verse review because it is coming out next
Oh
week.
yes,
Yeah.
Dave, it's
Oh,
coming
can't
out
wait. So when
June
is it coming
2nd.
out?
Next
June
weekend.
2nd. June
I
2nd
want to
here.
see it. I really want to see it.
That's-
So
yeah.
is
Because
that this week?
we're getting a bunch of Spider-Man 2099's in it supposedly.
Yeah.
I don't know
Ben
how much.
Reilly. Ben
Yeah,
Reilly's in it.
supposedly. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know how much, but Ben Reilly's
seen
gonna be
it.
in it.
Look.
Yeah,
Yeah. Spider Woman.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I've got to be honest. Like
Me too.
I so much enjoyed that first movie.
I'm gonna have to watch the first one again just to get ready for it.
Get the taste. I'm just looking at Joystick. Do you think she'll turn up?
Phew.
I hope so.
I don't know if she'll turn up, but a lot of other people will turn up.
What about Peter Porker? Do we think he's going to make a reappearance?
Yeah, for sure. He's got to. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
Peter Porker.
he had kind of like a main role in the first one, right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
And is my fave Ghost Spider going to be in it again?
I think so. Yeah, I think they will.
Haley Steinfeld. That's she's the voice for it.
Am I right in saying is there still going to be like a Ghost Spider movie with the Spider Girls still happening?
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
I'm a big fan of Ghost Spider.
Madam Web. It is Madam Web with
Okay.
Dakota Fanning, I think.
Is
and a
that?
few
I
other-
thought there was going to be an animated Ghost Spider thing as well.
Oh, no,
Yeah, I know they had talked about an animated Ghost Spider, but I haven't
Oh,
heard any
okay.
updates on that. But I'm assuming it's still coming out. But yeah, the live Madam Web's going to be live.
I'm
action.
really looking forward to this. I'm not really looking forward to Madam Web. I've got to be honest. But I'll go see it. But
It looks like one of those ones, Dave. Maybe you watch it with the sound off. Maybe.
well, who's Madam?
Yeah.
Is it Madam
It's
Web's
Sony.
not 90 years old anymore? Is she? She's
No, Madam Web's
I don't know.
the West Coast Avengers, Julia Carpenter, a Spider Woman. So Dave, remember the Spider Woman with blonde hair and the black suit
vaguely,
from the West Coast Event? Yeah, that's Madam Web.
Oh, Sydney Sweeney. She's like she's like a hot young blonde.
Sydney
chick.
Sweeney, yeah.
You've just sort of you've changed my whole opinion. I was expecting
she
a
got
95-year-old, but okay.
No, she's not Madam
Oh,
Web.
wow. Her.
She's someone else, I think.
Oh no, I thought I saw in the. I thought it was in the
This
credits.
picture I'm looking at of her,
She might
really
be Gwen.
enjoying.
She might be Gwen. I don't know. There are a fair few. I can't remember. We did the casting at to know who is
She's
to
set
be
to
her.
star in the superhero movie Madam Web.
Yep.
Doesn't say who she's going to be in that movie.
Dave, she got voted the best body in Hollywood.
I was going to say, well, I'm ready to put a vote in for that. Oh, Dakota Johnson is Madam Web.
That's it. Sorry, Dakota Johnson. Sorry.
So
yeah.
Sydney Sweeney is Julia Carpenter.
Oh, okay.
You know what? I flipped. I'm looking forward
Oh,
to this film.
Sydney
I'm
Sweeney
looking
is the
forward to
Spider Woman. Yeah, you're right.
I'm
yeah.
looking forward to this film. Am I the only one? I'm just going to say
Yeah,
something now.
I just sent a picture, Dave. There you go.
I'm just going to put something out there now. You're the Spider-Woman aficionado, Ray. Any chance of a lesbian relationship in this movie at all?
I don't know, but that's certainly rolling around with
My
at
spider
least
sense is
Vi,
tingling.
at least with
My
Spider
spider
Woman.
sense is tingling. You know, that's all I can say.
Oh my!
It's ting ting tingalid, ting ting tingle.
I don't
I'm not
know.
too sure.
I might be the only one thinking it because when I see her, my mind just wanders. I'm gonna have to shut that.
The Peter
Photo
Tingle,
down.
is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this is a nice picture you've sent me, Phil.
Yeah, that's Sydney Sweeney.
Nice
Wow.
sunny day. Yep, there you go.
Just a day out of the races.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, she's got my vote. I'll tell you what, she's an improvement on Madam Web, who is the only person older than Aunt May in the comics. The original Madam Web, she was like 105. Strapped to that machine. Remember, she used to be strapped to that machine all the time. Like,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Remember when he had to save her from the Juggernaut?
Yeah, I remember that well. She was like 1,000,000 years old and kind of useless as well. like she was just annoying. But she was, I don't know. There's a lot to be thankful for.
That's next year. It comes out next year.
Yeah.
Plenty of time to relax before that. I tell you what, June's huge. There's going to be the Spider-Verse movie, Indiana Jones. There's other movies.
The new Transformers is coming out.
Beast Wars, yeah.
That freaking Flash movie's coming out with
that Flash movie.
criminal Ezra Miller.
Yeah, with that fuckwit Ezra Miller. But
hey man, at least Michael Keaton's Batman's back.
Yeah,
in that
no, I'm looking,
movie.
and I'm
that's a
definitely
saving
gonna go
grace
see
for
it.
that movie.
Yeah. That's what they're banking on. Yeah, Michael Keaton.
Oh,
It's a bit of a weird mix. I've got to say, for a movie that has the title The Flash movie, it really is banking on Batman. I find it really weird how the marketing is just banking on that. But they have to. I mean, they're smart, aren't they?
Hey, the kids love Batman.
Batman, my favorite character.
I do. I sure do.
But it's a Flash movie. Come on.
Yeah, but Ezra Miller sucks so hard that they've got to
Oh, he
like,
does.
I
agree.
They've got to sort of like make everything else
Unabashedly.
around it seem interesting.
Into the Dark Knight, all to do with Batman.
Yeah, you love the Dark Knight, right?
Exactly.
You love the Dark Knight.
The White Knight. What the White Knight?
Dark Knight Returning. I actually today was in the store and I came across the 70s cartoon of Batman. It was on Blu-ray. Yeah, I don't know if you recall them. They were pretty cool actually. Like they were sort of like it was well before. It was like late 70s, early 80s, like Adventures of Batman and Robin. I used to watch it all the time as a kid. They were fun, and I saw it on Blu-ray. I think I might pick it up. Why not? Keep the dream alive.
Do it.
Yeah. I'll send you a copy, Ray, as well. I'll send you a copy.
Maybe, mate. TBD. So just tracking back to this issue then, we get the likes of... So we find, basically we find out sponsors, who sponsored...
Oh, yeah.
These
Very
people...
confusing.
One of the big
Super
names
confusing.
behind it is a big name. Justin Hammer.
Justin Hammer's a big one, and he does a deal. He does a dirty on, and Phil, maybe you can elaborate on Toro Negro, the Black Bull. Does he turns him into something else, right? It looks like he's taking out his brain or something.
It looks like, but yeah, I can't remember if we even see this character.
Or
again,
it just kills him. Maybe.
Maybe I don't know.
Kills
Yeah.
him.
Oh,
And-
but
Yeah.
all right. Well, we already recorded it, but kids, in a few episodes here, you're going to be hearing Lilith and I covered a Justin Hammer type story. Amazing Spider-Man 318 and 319. It's a Scorpion story. Justin Hammer gives him a new tail and everything. So
Is this the same
Oh,
Justin
nice.
Hammer from the Iron Man 2
Yes.
movie?
Yeah. Justin Hammer.
Okay.
Yeah.
but in the comics, he's like an old guy. Yeah.
No. We did some Iron Man on the show where he was like an old guy, had like a floating fortress, like a ship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
But the two issues Lilith and I covered, they are it was from the Todd McFarlane era. So yes, you get plenty of
Nice.
Mary Jane side boob. So
Ooh.
Good. And who gets crippled? It's someone gets crippled, but I didn't know who this one
is it the
green
Prowler?
The Prowler, yeah, Hobie Brown. He takes a tumble with the Rocket
was.
Racer.
Surprised, man.
Yeah, who shoots him? I can't remember. It was a Black Bull. Gets
Black
him.
Bull, yeah.
Yeah,
And,
because weren't Rocket Racer and Prowler trying to fake a fight just because they wanted
Staging it to get the
prize
money.
and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just scamming it just a little bit.
Yeah, and so incidentally, at the end we see as well the big reveal about J. Jonah Jameson.
Yes.
being one of the sponsors, none other than his favorite, wall crawler, Spider-Man. So it kind of tracks back because Spider-Man says, well, give my part of the winnings to this guy in hospital, no doubt,
Yeah.
the Prowler. So that's
So,
cool.
okay, I was confused. So J. Jonah Jameson backed Spider-Man to win, did he?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Right, I see. Okay.
Yeah, well,
okay.
I mean, despite hating him, he obviously respects him enough to think, okay, well, this dude,
He's gonna win. He's gonna
gonna win.
survive. Yeah.
yeah. So,
Yeah, I'm back looking at this picture of Sydney Sweeney.
oh, okay.
Just can't help myself. Like,
She could be a good joystick, Dave, as well.
oh, she'd be a fantastic joystick. Like, it'd be so fucking crazy if she was. Like, who is she again, Ray? Julia Carpenter. I don't know who that is. But
Oh, sorry, yeah, no, I got it wrong. Yeah,
Spider Woman. Yeah.
second Spider Woman, but she eventually becomes
one with
Madam Web as well.
Yeah.
But
The
this
Spider
one's-
Woman in the black and white costume. Yeah.
yeah, with the psi webs. She's got like mental webs, Dave.
I don't want to
looking at
distract Dave too much, but Dave, I do believe Sydney Sweeney has some sex scenes out there.
Oh,
Well, we'll look at those later. I'll look at those later.
Dave,
Um,
mental
was just-
note for Dave. Yeah.
I was just looking at her. She was literally. It said Heidi Klum, Sydney Sweeney, and Salma Hayek flaunted chest at Cannes. So I quickly went to it. I mean, it's not much. I mean, yeah. So what? She's got boobs, okay, but like we don't see enough. I'm kind of really scanning in, and it's not that exciting. Like, but it's keeps the punters interested.
It does. It does.
Keeps a career alive.
Yeah.
All right. So, what do we think of this unlimited issue? Good, bad?
I'd say passable, enjoyable, not memorable. 6.5 out of 10.
Was there too many moving parts in this thing?
For me, yes. Like as it wore towards the end with all these people bouncing in and out talking about sponsors, I was completely lost. And then when I saw J. Jonah Jameson back winner, I was like, well done, J. Jonah, you sneaky bastard. Yeah, I mean, it was fun. Like it was enjoyable enough, but I struggled to give it more than 6.5. Although Betty Brant did lift it, frankly.
Joystick, Dave.
Now that I think about her and Joystick, I'm going to give it a 7, but that's purely on the sex appeal of those two.
Yeah, I was gonna give it about a 7 as well, just because I really enjoyed it. Just all the cameos. Basically, I'm not the biggest fan of this story arc of the Great Game. Like, I don't find the Black Bull all that interesting at all. But just to see all these weirdo characters come out, and just to get a little bit of an explanation behind it with Justin Hammer and tying it with J. Jonah Jameson was pretty cool. And then there was a lot of one-on-ones with Pete and Ben here. So there was that kind of the talk of, Ben, you're not acting kind of like me, like what great power, great responsibility. Ben's like, well, if these guys want to do this game, then so be it. But it takes the death of Polestar and Nightwatch for Peter to really ramp up to Ben. Like, come on, mate. 2 people died. What's going on? So yeah, I like that sort of stuff. And Betty Brant, all that kind of drama that happens as well. So yeah, about 7.
Would you have enjoyed it more if, basically, we'd had a scene where Ben Reilly leads Betty Brant into the boudoir? And close the door. Would you? Have
and they just
enjoyed
have
that
a
more?
page of black as the lights go out.
And maybe some sound effects. And I'm just, I think that would have given a touch of sophistication. Exactly. Yeah, exactly right.
I was about to say they
Or
wouldn't do that, but
slurping
it was the
noise.
90s.
I really feel like I'm informed tonight for some reason.
Hey,
I don't know
Dave,
why,
pulled out the boudoir. It's great.
I just think something like that would have been kind of it moves the story forward in another direction.
God.
But I mean, spoilers too. I think at this point they know Ben Reilly's days are numbered too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
give him a farewell.
How about you, Phil? What would you give this?
Again, I mean, I might go a little higher than you guys. Might go like a 7.5. I mean, it's
Okay.
Again, it is serviceable, and I mean, I think the homework assignment was, close out the Great Game story arc, which has
Yeah.
been reoccurring through Ben Riley's.
Yeah.
And
run.
can I also say as well? I mean, before we jump into the second issue, I think it was written particularly well in that sense because the next team up. I mean, I think Derek Robertson is not a full-time writer, right? I mean, I think there's just too many words. I think he overwrote it. I don't know about you guys. Did you think that?
Oh,
or-
yeah. Let's get to this. Yeah, that Spider-Man
Yeah.
team up number
I think he
5.
overwrote. Yeah,
He's the guy who's the artist on Transmetropolitan and the Boys, isn't it? Is that him?
Derek Robertson
Am I confusing?
could be, but he was definitely in the '90s in Marvel. I know that.
Maybe I'm confusing him with someone else.
Derek Robertson. Derek,
I-
isn't it? Dari.
I thought he was the guy who did the Transmet and the Boys, but maybe I'm completely wrong.
Yeah, give it.
He
Give it.
might,
give it a-
he might have. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, no, that is him, Derek Robertson.
That is him.
yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Transmet.
It's great. It's great
He's
art.
an artist, you know. Yeah. he's
Yeah,
an
yeah,
artist.
exactly. I know. Yeah, exactly. He's an artist first and foremost. That's why I thought the writing was a bit too. He kind of overplayed it a bit. Too many. I mean,
Yeah.
it's great writing, but for comic books and the medium, you've got to learn less is more because you've got to let the.
And
Yeah, anyway.
and for a team, that first story for a team up book, I mean, was that a little too much? A little too much like Ben Riley flashback in that.
Oh, there was a huge flashback.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
it almost seems
But I
like
enjoyed
you know,
that, though.
I know I enjoyed it too, but it seems like we almost lost Gambit in this thing because we got
Gambit was a
Ben Riley.
minor
yeah.
player in this storyline. Like,
Yeah.
He
he
was.
look, I'll be honest.
Yeah, but it's a Spider-Man team up, so shouldn't you be giving a little more spotlight to the guest
Yes,
star?
you
Yep.
should. You should
Yep.
be. Yes.
Having said that, when he
Yeah.
did come in to fight Tombstone and is it Crew? How do you pronounce that? Crow.
I think
Crow.
so, yeah.
That was cool. I always love seeing Gambit in action. He's a badass.
Oh, yeah. I
And
just
he had the
yeah.
armor. He had the
Yeah.
armor kind of going by this point.
He's so angry. Like Robertson draws him so angry.
Can I be honest? I thought I wasn't going to enjoy this very much. But I hear your point. Yes, Gambit definitely has a lighter role than you would expect in a team up. But I enjoyed the flashback and I enjoyed the appearance of Tombstone. I actually thought it was a pretty solid issue in
Yeah,
itself.
yeah.
And like the art was very good, which is what I would expect from him. But the whole thing was better than I expected. When I see, this might be my own prejudice, but when I see like kind of a full time artist is writing it, I always think, okay, what's it going to be like, you know? But I felt
Yep.
this was a very well put together issue, and I really enjoyed it. And I really laughed at the end where Howard the Duck's going blah blah blah. Can we get
How
on with
cool
it
is
now?
that? Typical
Yeah, it's
Howard.
funny. Yeah, typical Howard.
But yeah, I mean, but that first story, like they had plans of which they never went forward with in the '90s, where they were going to do like an ongoing Ben Riley book, where it was like those flashbacks, where it'd be like, oh, what was he
Right.
doing on the road for 5 years and stuff, and they
Yeah.
never did it. So
Yeah. Well, this is a nice little self-contained story with the lady that
so.
helps him and feeds him, and then you get introduction to Crow.
mhm.
Crew. That's pretty cool. He's a bad bugger too, as well,
I
isn't
thought he was fully corrupt. I enjoyed this more than I expected. And Ray, I know you're a big Tombstone fan.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I forgot Tombstone was in this. The minute
Yeah,
I'm like, oh yeah, Ray's gonna enjoy this. Okay.
working his. I knew it the moment the hat and the black suit, and there was a little bit of white, and you had to be Tombstone.
Yeah, you knew it'd be able
Fantastic.
to. And he's looking particularly monstrous in this one.
Yeah, I don't know why they gave him red eyes for this. He's never had that. But anyway, it still looks good.
He's an albino, isn't he, Ray? Am I right?
Yep. Yeah. He filed his own teeth, all that sort of stuff.
Good stuff. Good
Yeah.
stuff. Has he been
Bulletproof.
he's not been in any of the Spider-Man movies at all, has he? Nothing.
No.
He was in that first into the Spider-Verse movie.
Yes. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Animated. Yes.
Yeah.
And he's been in the cartoons and all that.
Oh, he's been in the
recently.
cartoons, yeah.
Yeah.
He was in. He was very good in Spectacular Spider-Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He was revealed as like the big bad in there in the first season. It was really good.
Yeah, I remember.
But yeah, nothing live action, I don't think. Yeah, no.
You know what?
Nah.
I mean, I'm going to give this issue a 7.5. I enjoyed this story in itself. just the Gambit Spider-Man story, I'm giving it 7.5. I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it as well. I'd say a good 7. I mean, the artwork was really good. I also enjoyed in particular the beginning, where we see Ben Riley go up against Remy LeBeau, so to speak. He's talking to the same woman who turns out to be an undercover cop,
Yes.
DeWolf.
Yes.
So she was pretty cool. But I loved seeing, like, and Ben's going, "Oh, sorry, I didn't know you had a boyfriend." She goes, "No, I just met him." But Remy's so kind of like possessive of her already. I like, I just like the
Yeah.
way that he's been written. I love the flashback with Ben Riley, but absolutely understand you feel with Gambit missing a bit of time in the sun. But still, when he did arrive towards the end, it was a lot of fun. I mean, you had everything. You had gators, you
Yeah.
had New Orleans clubs and dancing. It was all good.
I have a comment. DeWolf. Does anyone
Hmm.
remember Gene DeWolf?
Yes,
Mhm.
of course.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I wondered if this was a bit of a linkage, like a relative or something.
I know. I was thinking because it's such an uncommon surname.
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be a reason why.
Like if she had
Yeah.
ever appeared again, I was waiting for it to be like
Mm.
a younger sister or something. But
Yeah.
they never like really.
Never. Again, maybe it was an idea that they had that just never
Yeah.
went forward.
Missed
Yeah.
opportunity. Missed opportunity.
Like Derek Robertson wasn't back, so pretty much
Derek Robertson
didn't
went
want
into
to go out.
Transmetropolitan and forgot about this story thread.
He did. He forgot about it. Yeah, but this is not the end of the team up.
No,
We-
and I've got to be honest. I'm relying on you guys.
Oh, okay.
This one is Steve Gerber at his wackiest, but I really enjoy it. It's a farce.
The Howard the Duck,
It's madcap farce, and it's so different from the other story. But with Howard the Duck, it's kind of exactly what I would hope for. You know?
That's funny. I actually didn't realize Steve Gerber wrote it because I was about to applaud the writer for actually making it very Steve Gerber-esque, but it's Steve
Yeah.
Gerber, so that totally makes sense. I absolutely love this. This is totally Howard the Duck, but it's also kind of almost like modernized, if I can say that, because the earlier Howard stuff obviously was in the 80s, but
And
seeing
70s.
it with and 70s, but seeing it with 90s art is really funny. Like seeing the revamped Beverly.
It's
you
so
know.
funny. I know she's a redhead and stuff, but doesn't she look
Sure.
very similar to Mary Jane in this?
Absolutely, 100%, 100%. Yeah, she looks so similar to all the other. She could be Jean Grey. You never know, for all we know. But no, I really enjoyed this. Just the absurdity throughout the whole thing was. I mean, you've got an elf who killed the ringmaster. It's a bit of a trying to find out what's happening. Basically, wants to steal the hypnotizing disc from ringmaster.
No disc, yeah.
Hypno disc. So we get the Circus of Crime, but in between that, Howard the Duck, and I'm going to call that again the Savage Dragon, and Gerber's crazy villains, like little villains. I'm just going to call her side stream cholesterol. There's this woman that just totally goes off at
She's
Howard.
nuts. Yeah. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I'm actually, having said that you're saying it's Steve Gerber, it actually rings a slight bell, and maybe Noel, if he's still around, she might be a callback to one of the earlier issues in the Howard the Duck, because she reminds me.
I had a feeling she had been. I've not read
Yeah.
them all,
Yeah.
but I have a feeling that she did turn up in something.
Yes. Crazy
earlier.
woman. She was in court or something. I can't remember, but it rings a bell. But yeah, Phil, I mean, yeah, what do you think? Chicago, Savage Dragon, I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a Howard the Duck story that, it was enjoyable, but I am so disappointed. I thought Dave was going to have some kind of comment about Princess Python playing with that snake.
Yeah. Well, no.
Yeah.
I was speed reading it before the show, and as you're saying that, I'm just going back to enjoy those pages. But look, it's nuts. It's basically, as I was reading it, I was just thinking, Steve Gerber, I would love to see, you know what I'd love to see? His script. I bet you, I don't know, but I bet you he was a real full
writer.
script guy. I bet you he was a full script guy, because this artist is kept so busy in these panels.
He's such a Dave. I don't know if you read that issue from Howard the Duck where he literally Gerber. I think he admits that he ran short on the deadline, and he submitted basically his travel diary. So the comic is mostly just his journal, like written, and it's really weird. But yeah, no, he's a fantastic writer.
Did you know we had Steve Englehart on the Signal some time ago, and he and Steve Gerber worked together. I forget what the publishing imprint was. Maybe it was Eclipse. It was something like that, and they basically formed the world together. Like they world builded, and apparently he had a really significant condition. Steve Gerber, like maybe it was totally undiagnosed sleep apnea, but he basically had massive trouble sleeping, and it really by the 90s it had really affected his ability to produce scripts on time because he was constantly exhausted because of whatever his medical condition was. He couldn't sleep, so he was really tired all the time, and and it was interesting. But he was brilliant. Like he was apparently absolutely brilliant, but he really struggled with the monthly grind of comics, especially as he got older, primarily because of this sleep disorder that he had.
Wow.
And that was a mixture of Steve Englehart may not have said so much of it on the show, but I think it had been said previously in relation to Eclipse Comics. I did a bit of research on it. So I forget how much he told me and how much I read into, but that's basically what it was. And I think it was undiagnosed, whatever he had. And no one knew. Like it only came out like years later. So people thought he was slack kind of thing in the 90s, but actually he had this really significant medical condition. Yeah, I think it's interesting,
Well, it just makes it even more amazing, I guess, with the stuff that he was able to turn out in that in that condition. Because, I mean, there are a couple of hallmarks here as well. I want to call that Kiss as well. They featured on Howard the Duck there at the end. And just crazy. I mean, and actually the Circus of Crime was in the original Howard the Duck series as well. So
Am I right in saying the Circus of Crime turned up in Ghost Rider at some point?
Oh, yeah.
They've been around.
Zarathos kicked their asses. Yeah.
Yep.
That's what
They pretty much showed up everywhere. I mean,
they showed up everywhere.
Spider-Man, Hulk. I mean, everybody.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
They're pretty cool though. I like that kind of 70s vibe. It was a real 70s vibe,
I'm blanking now, but we're talking about these all weird characters. Who was that dude? And where is he now? He's a villain from Fantastic Four. He's like got the purple big domed head. What's his name?
Impossible Man?
No. He's got a goatee and a mustache as well. He's a villain, and he's got a big like domed head. Like it's a helmet.
Right. I don't know. I've not read a ton of the early stuff.
He's a great villain. Anyway, I can't remember. He uses discs, Phil. Come on. That guy. He levitates, and I think... Anyway.
I know it's going to come to me after we're done. Oh, man.
I've got a question for you guys. If you
part of the Frightful Four. Sorry.
Oh, the Wizard?
Wizard. There you go. Yes. Yeah. Awesome.
If you could invite 3 deceased comic book either writers or artists for a dinner party to your house, who would you pick?
Oh, I know the number one on my hit list would be Mark Grunwald.
Yep, number one. Okay. Steve Gerber as well. I reckon.
I would definitely invite Steve Gerber. They have to be deceased. Steve Gerber for sure.
I mean, would it be Stan Lee?
Well, that'd be pretty cool as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know more than anyone. It would be Mark Grunwald for me. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. I mean, George Perez.
George Perez. Yeah,
would be really good as well.
I mean, everyone's forgetting who I'm going to pick. Have a guess. GF.
Gardner Fox.
He's going to be at the head of the table. Gardner, Steve Gerber, and maybe Mark Grunwald.
Mark Grunwald for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Pleasant company.
Yeah, be good.
Roll a couple of joints, put them under
my
plates, and just say, go for
bit
it.
of blow. Bit of blows
Yeah,
and
well,
hookers.
mate, maybe later in the night, Ray. You're obviously going a bit crazy later in the night, there, Ray.
Oh, Dave, can I record a ad for you guys? I'll be like, this episode of the Signal of Doom is brought to you by Hookers and Blow.
You can. Yes, you can.
Oh, don't tease me, man. I'll do it.
Do it.
I don't
please.
care. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't worry me. I say, I mean, literally, you're talking to someone who said someone should be hung for treason on his last show. I really don't care. I really don't care. I mean, I said, I was talking foreign policy. I say plenty of things on Signal. Some would say I shouldn't say, but fans love it. Supporters love it. I'll tell you something. I'll give you a little teaser. Years ago, probably 4 years ago on the Signal, back when Stuart was my co-host before he sadly passed away.
Stuart.
So the Gollum game was mentioned, and I said the Gollum game will suck. Out of all the characters in Middle Earth, why would you pick a Gollum game? And I said this like 4.5 years ago. Well, lo and behold, this week the Gollum came out to just scathing reviews, and I called it back on the Signal saying I feel so pleased to be so right and so vindicated. And
Did you get in contact with? Did you contact
I should
Stu?
get in contact with him and just, I'm going to find the audio clip and the argument that we had, because I'm actually picturing myself like a Roman emperor standing in the Colosseum, arms outstretched, surrounded by like seas of people screaming my name, praising me, bowing, and that's how vindicated I feel. I just wanted to bring it up on this show. That's the kind of stuff you can expect on Signal Doom. That's just a little sliver of what's available.
Yeah, exactly.
And of course, Ray, my mind's spinning now with the lesbian prospects with Sydney Sweeney and whoever the other chick was, Dakota Johnson.
Dakota
Her
Johnson.
from 50 Shades of Grey, I believe.
That's right, Dave.
My mind is racing.
Hi, this is Phil from the Capes and Lunatics, and this episode of the Signal of Doom is brought to you by Hookers and Blow and lesbian sex scenes. Enjoy.
Enjoy.
There you go. That's it. It's done.
Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Cut that out. Send it to Dave. Here you go.
Well, I mean, I gave look. The Howard story's wacky as hell. I'm giving an 8 out of 10, and I'm giving the Gambit story a 7.5. So I don't know. Do the math with what that works out with. 7.75.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Phil. How about you?
No, I agree with Dave. I mean, the Howard the Duck story is wacky, but that is a typical Howard the Duck story. So yeah.
It's really good. It's really good. Yeah, I'll give it an 8, and overall, whatever. So 7.75 for that issue. Because Gambit is 7.5. So it's fantastic.
But I don't know if we mentioned it too. The Howard the Duck story. I mean, that James Fry art. I think that really sets the tone for the story.
Totally agree.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Now the artist does some really heavy lifting with what I think was a pretty demanding script.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I didn't count how many pages they had, but I want to say they had about 16 or 17 pages. So they didn't have a full issue, I don't think. They had to cram a lot into those pages.
Yeah.
So that's something else to take into account in the final day before God when it gets weighed up on the scales. Take that into account. Steve Gerber was writing on his deathbed.
Oh, really?
We did on the Signal of Doom, Dr. Fate. Not a character I particularly care about normally, but his Dr. Fate was really interesting. I think it was Dr. Fate. And anyway, he did like 11 or 12 issues, and he was seriously dying of the cancer that killed him. He was in hospital dictating it, I think, to his wife, the script and stuff. That unfortunately, the final issue, he'd passed away, and I don't think they had. Well, they didn't have a script, and so it basically went to like 4 different writers who tried to finish the story in 4 different ways. And it's unfortunate because none of them. It is a really brilliant story, and it's one of the things that was in his own head only. Really, they tried, but he was like literally on his deathbed, still going, and it's quite some. And when you read the storyline too, it's sort of like a metaphor, if you know what I mean, like about transitioning from life to death, and
Okay.
it's actually quite good. And it reminded me, Robert Jordan, also another writer who wrote Wheel of Time, he was transcribing to his wife as he was dying. And that's the kind of dedication I like to see in literary heroes. I know when I'm dying, Michelle, she won't want to hear. I'll be going, I've got more ideas for Des Moines. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Run the tape, run the tape. She's like, I think we've got enough. I'm like, no, there's more. There's more. she's like, who's gonna, I'm just like, just keep going, And then, but can you imagine? I want to set the scene for you here. A deathbed, Ray.
Mhm.
And maybe you're still recording. You're still pumping out into the night, even as the
Mhm.
life's ebbing out of your body. You're going, and there's still more. I've still got Jed McKay on the line, and we've still got more coming up, folks. And then he just dies, like
Well, yeah.
live. It'd be pretty awesome, wouldn't it, Ray?
Well, yeah, that's the way. That's the dream, Dave. That's the dream.
To go out, but like imagine, and we've got live footage of Ray's death, and you're still spruiking the show. Like join the Patreon. Boom, gone.
Well,
Yeah,
got to be
why not,
done.
man?
Got to be done.
Got to feed the beast.
That's it.
Feed the beast.
All right. We ready to wrap this up?
We sure are. Proud members of the collective. I always like to say, proud members of the collective.
All right. So next month, gentlemen, you're gonna find out the big mastermind behind the Clone Saga.
Yep.
Oh, Dave, that's it.
I
This is
think
what
I
we've
worked
been
out
waiting
who it
for.
was. I think I worked out who it was the other day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Charles Xavier.
Oh.
Oh, how'd you guess?
I
No.
just realised that he was behind it all. Chess pieces were moving. Maybe it was Beast.
Yeah,
Hank
because
McCoy.
yes, because next time we're going to cover revelations from Spectacular Spider-Man 240, Sensational Spider-Man 11, Amazing Spider-Man 418, and Spider-Man 75. And there's a fifth issue, but oh man, I can't even give you the full title because it'll give it away.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, I mean, I'll send it in the invite, but I'll kind of edit it. It's Spider-Man.
Okay.
Because I already checked it on. If you go on Marvel Unlimited and you type in Spider-Man Journal, it will come up because it's Spider-Man the blank journal. Yeah, because
Okay.
the guy's name away. Yeah.
Wow. I
But
really
yeah.
have no idea who it is. I'm lost.
Yeah.
But that
totally.
one shot journal issue, it's basically the mastermind sits down and he's basically writing in his journal.
Have we guessed?
Lays everything out.
Have we guessed? Green Goblin is Norman Osborn, Ray, right?
Yep.
Could it be him? I mean,
I
he's
think
like
we've
the
guessed. I think
biggest
we've
bad.
guessed.
Yeah, I was gonna say, surely we've guessed him. I mean,
Yeah.
he's like the biggest original bad. I would have thought with Spider-Man.
Well,
Yeah.
if you guessed the right answer, do you want me to tell you?
Oh,
Dave, yeah, what do you reckon? Yeah? Yeah.
Did we guess it? Really? I thought we'd already guessed that one.
I'll tell you. One of your guesses was right. So,
Oh.
do you want to know?
Professor Charles Xavier.
Beast.
I'm just saying of all the guesses you've made over the time, yeah, you guessed the right one.
We have guessed. All right. Well, let's save it for next show. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to save it for the show because I genuinely have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I just thought we haven't seen, at least that I can remember, Norman Osborn in this story. Have we, Ray? I don't even remember.
No.
Seems to
I
have
don't
been
think
out.
so.
Well, remember he was dead for a bunch of years and then
Right.
made a triumphant
Yeah.
return. So
Harry's been around, hasn't he? We've seen Harry a couple of times.
in the Clone Saga,
Yeah, have we?
no, he died in Amazing or Spectacular Spider-Man 200. So,
Okay. Oh, so he didn't come back. I thought he must have come back at some point. Like,
but
he's
again, the mastermind might be someone they thought was dead for a while. So,
wow. Because Harry does eventually come back because he's in the comics now. Yeah, Harry's around, isn't he?
yeah, he was, and then I don't know. That was like that whole the arc before this current one. Like they basically said all the Harrys were like clones or something. It was very weird. The whole kindred stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Well, I'm looking forward to next time because I generally have no idea. Like I wouldn't.
All right, so yeah, kids. Like I said, next week will be our Across the Spider-Verse review, and then the episode after that will be the Vibranium Vendetta, which Loth and I covered from Amazing Spider-Man Annual 25, Spectacular Spider-Man Annual 11, and Web of Spider-Man Annual 7, guest starring the Black Panther and Iron Man.
Cool.
Nice.
And then, like I said, after that, it'll be Amazing Spider-Man 318 and 319 from the Todd McFarlane era. Scorpion and Justin Hammer sends more villains in, like the Rhino. So,
Justin Hammer's just getting around, isn't he?
oh yeah, well that was the era where he financed all these supervillains for like a cut of their profits and stuff. So,
Who's your favorite Spider-Man writer, Phil?
writer.
I've got one.
I mean, JMD Mateus is pretty good.
He's pretty damn good. Yeah. He's
I mean,
actually very solid.
Yeah, I mean, Michelini did some good stuff in the '90s. But it might come down to JMD Mateus because.
Well, he's up there for me. My favorite is Roger Stern.
Oh, Roger Stern is great too.
But
Yeah,
Jamie Mateus, I'm also, even though I wouldn't say he's my favorite, I think Jamie Mateus, Tom DeFalco, and David Michelini are all probably they're my bunch. You know,
especially that original run by DeFalco. You know, was like when they
I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah. And it goes right after Roger Stern. I thought he did a really good sort of follow up to a really strong run.
Oh yeah,
David Michelini's also very good. I read a lot of him when he was doing it at the time. You know.
Oh yeah.
What about you? What about you, Ray, down there? What's your favorite, man? Zeb Wells.
I like Jerry Conway.
Conway was good, yeah.
Really,
solid,
really
very
good.
solid.
I mean, he had more than one run, yeah.
Yeah, Michelini as well. Both, yeah, but both they're probably my favorite all time.
I know his favorite Spider-Man artist, Alex Saviok.
Yes, Alex. Yep, teamed up with Jerry Conway, I think, for Web of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of good artists, hasn't he? It's actually harder to pick an artist because
he had like two different runs too. Because it was in the '70s, he had Ross Andrew and
Ross Andrew is good.
Yeah. And then in the '90s, he came back, and he had Alex Saviok and Sal Buscema.
Like John Romita, Senior and Junior could both lay a claim.
Oh, I mean, Junior's basically come back to draw Spider-Man like at least once a decade. It seems like since like at least the '80s.
And I liked his father Spider-Man too. You know?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, that's what I said. How do you like measure up to your father when you're like your father is like the Spider-Man artist after Ditko? It's like it's Ditko and then it's John Romita Sr.
And I think it took him some time too.
Oh yeah.
You know, like I mean, there's big shoes to fill, kind of thing. Yeah. No. Interesting. Well.
Interesting.
Check out Into the Night, kids. Isn't that right, Ray?
I'm gonna get to the plugs. Yes. All right, kids. So yeah, send us your thoughts on all of that, and especially that in the end of the Clone Saga coming. Email us capesandlunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-capes. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics on the website. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. Again, you want to subscribe to the Patreon now because all summer I'm making Lilith review series by series, Heroes Reborn. So you're going to get Lilith Hellfire's very drunken reviews of Heroes Reborn.
Poor Lilith. They all suck.
They already did the Fantastic Four, so that's up there now, kids. So
yeah,
there was a curveball in there. So yeah.
Does Sue Storm have the boob window then?
No, that was like right after, but no.
Enjoy that. I've always enjoyed that.
Oh yeah. All right, Sydney Sweeney's biggest fan, Dave. Where can people find you in Signal and Doom?
Find me down at the local strip club. No, they can find me on Signal of Doom every week with my co-host Richard. Just this week we discussed potentially aliens being involved with ancient Egypt, and in Total War Pharaoh, I said there should be an alien faction, and I give tips on how to win Total War Rome 1 and 2.
Nice
so
one, Dave.
That's the kind of stuff you can get on Signal of Doom. So hit us up. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're everywhere. We're global. And, enjoy.
It's hot. It's fresh. It's the Signal of Doom. All right. And Ray, where can people find you and Into the Night and To Know Her is to Fear Her and Predator P. Ray?
P Ray. Yeah, look, just check out at Ray Pod, REY Pod on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. That's where I am, and that's where you'll get links to the other shows. Yeah, do one about Moon Knight, Spider Woman, and Predator. We're going to be recording about Predator, the latest issue from Marvel by Ed Brisson, The Preserve. I think it's part 3. That we're looking forward to that. That's this week as well. So go check it out.
They could probably find you at West Tigers games as well, Ray.
Oh, Phil, the Tigers won 66-18.
Oh, wow.
Record
Thought I'd
breaking.
bring that up for you, Ray. I knew that
I was
that
there at the ground. I was screaming.
Was the shirt off, Ray? Were you twirling the shirt above your
So
head? Like,
most tries ever scored. 11 tries scored in the match. Amazing.
wow.
Not since 1944. So
Wow.
Since World War II.
Since World War II, fantastic. But we're still near the bottom of the table. But it doesn't matter. We've done really well. So
You guys should feel very proud of yourselves.
very proud. I was very proud. Can't wait for next game.
All right. All right. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Thank you, gentlemen. And again, in 1 month, these boys find out who is behind the complete Clone Saga, step by step.
Joystick.
Joystick, yeah.
Joystick.
Betty Brant.
Yes.
But until then, swing on back.